Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Prom is a big deal for a lot of high school students, but planning for a great night out also means getting home safely. So today, understanding the key problems and how parents can help teens make good decisions.
That's right. Anne Scallon is the publisher and editor of Before the Wheel. It's an online resource for teen drivers and their parents. Good to see you, Anne.
Great to see both of you.
Yeah, this is a big topic. We were teasing Guard, and he's like, oh boy, I'm already hearing about it. And so I'm sure a lot of students have that sort of response, but it's an important conversation to have.
Yes, definitely, because they're very excited with good reason. It's a big night. And it's always talked about for a long time.
Yes.
One of the things I find interesting as I think about prom and thought about you being here and talking about safe driving, as I was thinking about all the things that have changed since I went to prom, for example, since we all went to prom perhaps, and that is now cell phones and technology and all these things. But there are a lot of things that have not changed too, and that is the desire to go to this dance, the fact that it's usually a big deal, that you want to get all your friends together and it's a lot of fun, and that you're driving and you're in a car, and parents, I think prom is hard for parents.
Yes, definitely.
You know, it's spring, they want to be outside, they want to have fun, and you want them to have fun too. You just want them to get home safely.
Right. And whenever there's that level of excitement and adrenaline with teens, it always kind of raises the bar for more of a danger level.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, a lot of people talk about drinking. You know, I mean, that's a big deal. And you say there's three different things that are very important to discuss. One of them is alcohol, another is texting, and another is going to in the cars.
Right.
And so let's kind of break it down. Let's talk about alcohol and buzz driving, because that's a conversation that you're very good at giving parents tips on how to have.
Right. So what parents need to realize is that teens' brains are just, they're not completely formed. And so some parents think it's okay as long as they come to my house and have, you know, a glass or two of wine. But it's not okay, because they're going out in the cars and they are basically drunk as far as any laws are. It's absolute sobriety for a teen driver.
Yes.
And you're just starting off on the wrong foot. You're saying something is okay that is not okay. So just because they're doing it with you know, a group of adults or parents doesn't make it okay.
Yes, that's huge. It's absolute sobriety is the law, and not a drop of alcohol. The other thing Tiff mentioned is texting and phones. That's another important conversation along with alcohol, is you got to say absolutely yes to no distractions while you're driving.
Right, and remember, if you're going to prom, you do have a second person in the car at least, okay? They can run the communications. You know,
they can do their Snapchat. They can do all the texting. They can do the map.
Right, and you can just give them the orders as you're, you know, looking at the road. I drive down the road and I see, you know, the driver with trying to look at the electronic. He's got someone right next to him. There's no sense in it. So remember, they can communicate with their friends. It just has to be with the person who's in the passenger seat.
I drove up next to a teen the other day, and he was vaping like O's and on his phone while he was driving. And
that's called multitasking.
I was like, okay, this kid, like, it just made me like, and it just makes you so anxious, and then you're adding a whole element of friends, and so the amount of people in the car matters as well.
Right, exactly. So the amount of people, you know, your children are brought up from the time they're small, safety in numbers, and that is so true. You know, if they're walking around with a group of teens, they're probably not going to get approached by somebody who shouldn't be approaching them. So they need to know, though, inside the car, if you can do two, if you can get them to go as a couple, tell them they have much more control. They can come and go when they want. They don't need 4 people making a decision. It keeps that excitement and that adrenaline, and let's speed and let's look cool and all that. It keeps it down to a minimum.
Keeps it contained a little bit. And that's such a big thing. You talk about the benefits of going as a pair. Because when you're working with a group and trying to get a consensus on how long you're going to stay and when you're going to go, it's a lot harder than if you're just there with you and a date or you and one other friend. You also talk about things to talk about with your teens, a what to do if list. So walk through different scenarios.
When you're the passenger.
When you're the passenger, if your friend was doing this, then what could you do to either get out of the situation or make it a safer environment?
Right, so sometimes you feel like you've been with this friend, you know this friend, and then all of a sudden they're acting a lot differently.
Yeah.
Because they want to look really cool.
Cool.
Maybe they got a new car, or mom and dad let them use their sports car or whatever for the big event. So they're acting like really kind of wild, driving fast, maybe starting to text or talk to people. And you really need to say, you know, I need to stop at a coffee shop or something.
Distract them.
Come up with a reason
pull over.
to stop that vehicle. Because what happens is it just keeps snowballing. And it gets worse with time. When you stop the action, you have a chance to just kind of maybe pull them aside and say, listen, you know, this isn't working out. I'm not comfortable with it. Can we just calm down? Enjoy the evening at the dance.
And you make a great point, and we want to share your resource, your website, because parents should get involved in being part of the photographs, preparing snacks for kids, exchanging ideas with other parents and your teenagers' friends' parents, for planning ahead and making sure it's safe, especially as it relates to transportation arrangements. You can go to beforethewheel.com. It's a wonderful online resource for parents and teenagers for safe driving. Thanks, Anne.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.